Showtime went overtime, and the Pistons showed the Lakers a tough time for the second time. Got all that?
A lot of time.
They lost to the Pistons last week. And inbounding here with the lead, LeBron whipping that pass full court to Talen Horton-Tucker, who throws it down. So Lakers were up by 10 after 3, and then LeBron getting the steal all the way himself, dunks at home. LeBron had 23 at that point. The Lakers were up by 8. But now the Pistons come back within 2. Josh Jackson hitting the layup, ties the game at 106. We're going to go to overtime, Jay. So in the overtime, LeBron to Kentavious Caldwell-Pope for the dunk. This coming off that missed alley-oop by Detroit. So Lakers are up 1, just over 20 seconds left now. Dennis Schroeder to AD for the dunk, and the Lakers tie it up. And now we're going to a second overtime when LeBron lays it in to put the Lakers up. It's still a 1-point game with 1:20 left in the second overtime. And LeBron coming up here. There he is, putting his team up. And then finally, in the end, nails a corner 3 to put the Lakers up by 4. They win 135-129 in double overtime. LeBron finishes with 33 points and 11 assists, and he was pretty glad to have this thing over.
I was just ready to go. I'm 36 years old, and I really don't have the heart. I don't have the heart. My heart is not sustainable for 2 overtimes at this point in my career. So I was just ready to go, get home. I got a bottle of wine that's been ready to be opened, and I delayed it for 2 more quarters or 2 more overtime. So I wasn't happy with myself.
Thank you for hanging with us. Stephen A. Smith, Max Kellerman. I'm Molly Karam Rose. Fellas, let's talk a little King James, shall we? We'll dive right into it here. So LeBron scored 40.
What did you say?
Yep, all good. How should we feel about LeBron being an MVP favorite?
I don't think we should have a problem with it. Obviously, I've been talking about Kevin Durant because Max has been talking about Joel Embiid, and Joel Embiid obviously deserves consideration, and Kevin Durant is averaging 30, after coming off an Achilles here. But we have to pay attention to LeBron James, and I don't mind him putting on 46 points against his old team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, basically saying, y'all must have forgot who the hell I am. Certainly he was aiming at somebody courtside sitting next to Cavs ut that was applauding a miss, and then he put on the show in the fourth quarter. We all get that, but I would remind everybody he didn't really need to drop 46 that game to put his statement season on display. LeBron James is 36 years of age, y'all. 36 years of age. In his 18th season, he is averaging 25, 8, and 7. Okay? On 41% shooting from three-point range, which if he continued at this clip would be the best of his career. Max alluded to his game evolving and basically, just transforming before our very eyes, and that's all fine, good, and dandy. But he's leading the team in scoring. We know that he's your point forward. Everything runs through him. They've got the best record in basketball. They've got the best record in basketball. They're the number 1 seed in the West. They're the reigning defending NBA champions. And oh, by the way, they're undefeated on the road this season going into Philly tonight. And so when you take all of those things into consideration and we talk about an MVP, we do have to take into consideration numbers. We obviously take into strong consideration impact. But when you combine that with the results, meaning number 1 in the NBA, as in the best record, unblemished, undefeated, on the road, okay, averaging more points than Anthony Davis at this particular juncture, doing what he has done, and the fact that he's a 4-time champion, the reigning NBA champion and NBA Finals MVP at the age of 36, and still doing what he's doing, I don't think it can be ignored, and I don't think we can summarily dismiss the man's greatness even at this particular moment in time. I ain't talking resume. I'm not talking longevity. I'm talking right now the way that he has been balling for the Los Angeles Lakers. The fact that he's in the conversation for league MVP is not only apropos, but very, very predictable.
Yeah, he's in the running. LeBron's a solid candidate. He's not the choice right now. If you're talking talking about the best player in basketball, who we all know based on what we keep seeing in the playoffs when it matters most. It's LeBron. We're not up to that yet. I'm the one saying, what are you talking about, regular season MVP? And then just the finals MVP. What about the whole playoffs? We should wait till the end of the finals, then give the MVP for the whole thing. Okay, but you argue actually no. We're talking regular season MVP. We need to incentivize teams. We need to give the paying customer, the fan, something to watch in the regular season. Well, okay, regular season MVP so far has been Joel Embiid. Embiid's the regular season MVP. Stephen A., over his last 5 games, he's averaging 33, 11, and 2 blocks. Joel Embiid shooting over that time 35% from 3. If you want to look at his season numbers, you can talk about points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals, all those things, percentages, true shooting, all that kind of stuff. But PER is a good kind of shorthand for that. Embiid is leading the league, well above LeBron. There it is, 31.2. Where's LeBron on the list? So statistically, per game, Embiid has been better. Statistically, per game. But Stephen A., if you just eyeball it, Embiid has been a monster. Not only on the offensive end, but on the defensive end. A monster. Maybe the best player in the game defensively. And by the numbers per game, he's the best player in the game offensively. What else is there? There's defense and there's offense, but there's more. LeBron's played in all 18 games. His team is in first place. He is playing with AD, another MVP caliber player. As good as Simmons is, he's not that. LeBron's got AD. They're probably going to split the vote. They're in first place. So are the Sixers. Well, Embiid's only played in 14 games. It hasn't affected where his team is. They're in first place. Now, he has missed 4 games. Tightness in his back and everything. Okay, what happened in those 4 games? It hasn't hurt their position in the standings in first place in the conference. And what you see when Embiid doesn't play, they don't just kind of barely lose. They get blown out by teams that they beat with Embiid. Stephen A., they have Dwight Howard. It's not like they don't have anything there.
You just hold on. So in other words, part of your argument, Dwight Howard, did you really just say that? Did you just?
I tried to bait you a little bit,
if we
but
talking
you saw
about
through it.
listen, and I apologize. I want to apologize because I don't mean any disrespect to Dwight Howard, who was a champion and played a pivotal role in the Los Angeles Lakers winning the chip last year. And I still think that Dwight Howard is a force defensively. But even in his prime, offensively, I thought he was more than what he actually was. His prowess was defensively. This dude was a monster on the boards. He was a monster shot blocker. He was a monster defender. No question about that. Offensively, his repertoire wasn't that deep. I always told Dwight Howard that. No disrespect. When we look at Joel Embiid, and you see the offensive arsenal that he has at his display, the perimeter shooting, his back to the basket, facing the basket, putting the ball on the floor, shooting threes, all of this other stuff. It's on another level. But before I give it back to you, Max Kellerman, I want you to understand something. I understand that in reality, what you're really admitting to the public with this particular subject is what you should have admitted just publicly, just as come out and flagrantly said it. You leave the basketball knowledge to me. That's what you should be doing. Because, Max Kellerman, you got a whole bunch of holes in your argument. But here is the biggest one. And put me up on that split screen, please, because I want to look at Max and I want to look at his face when I'm saying this to him. Max Kellerman, you know, you're a very busy man. And maybe you haven't watched the games. Because, Max Kellerman, I must tell you, who the hell have the Sixers beaten? Miami's struggling with a slew of injuries. I got Victor. The Toronto Raptors ain't what they should have been. The Washington Wizards, don't get me started. The Orlando Magic, these are teams that they've beaten here. Okay, the 2 victories that they had back-to-back against the Boston Celtics, Jason Tatum didn't play those games. And that's basically the only above 500 team they've beaten thus far. I'm not disrespectful of the Philadelphia 76ers. I believe in them. I believe they're title contenders. Love the fact that Doc Rivers is there. Daryl Morey's going to be on my NBA show, Sports Center with Stephen A. tonight with me. Okay. Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris is born. Seth Curry is a Curry. Okay. He's officially a Curry. Shooting damn near 60% from 3-point range. This brother's special right now. But the bottom line is, Max, if you look at the level of competition they've been going against thus far, It's pretty suspect. That has a lot to do with how they're 12-6 right now. Having just come off a loss to the worst team in basketball in Detroit. Pay attention.
Right. Whoa. Right. Pay attention. They came off a blowout loss to the worst team in basketball when Embiid doesn't play. When he does play, they beat those same teams. Embiid does not choose the schedule. And I want to get back to Dwight Howard for a second. Dwight Howard was useful for the Lakers last year. But there are several ways you could talk about MVP. Who's just been the best? Embiid has the best offensive numbers, and he's at the very least among the very best defenders in the game this year. What kind of an impact does he have on the team? His team is in first place in the conference. Stephen A., you're right about the schedule, but
he's
he doesn't choose the schedule. He just has to play who's there. What about value to your schedule?
Team? That's all. I ain't blaming him for
Dwight
it.
Howard and Ben Simmons, it's hard for them to share the court on offense because they both need the paint. Because that's the only place that Dwight Howard can score, and the same thing with Ben Simmons. So in fact, when you talk about value to your team as the Sixers are constructed, it's not just that Embiid in an absolute sense.
A game like this goes to double OT. Do you kind of just say, hey, all's well that ends well, and you walk away and dismiss it, or are there things that you get frustrated about and that it got to that point?
No, I don't think it was too many frustrating parts in the game. There's things where we know we could have done some things better. But we play some good basketball. Listen, we bring out the best in the Pistons, and they've had two really good games versus us. Another one was tonight. We give our credit where credit is due. They play well, but we got enough stops and we made enough shots to win the game. And every game is going to have its own challenges, and we accept all challenges, and we did that tonight.
And then, LeBron, can you just take us through the step back three, the evolution of that in your game, when you started to feel most comfortable with it? Obviously, we saw the two in the double OT tonight.
I'm not quite sure. When I started to feel very comfortable with it was just, being able to go to late in games. But, just always trying to, get my game better. Always trying to improve my game. And, that's one instance of it. A lot of guys, a lot of teams give me space on my three-point shots. Because they're afraid of the drive. So, I have the confidence that I can knock those down, and tonight was another case.
LeBron, it looks like after you hit that second three in double OT, you kind of gestured, waved your arm. I want to know, you were saying something too, if you could share what you said, and I have another question too.
I was just ready to go. I'm 36 years old, and, I really don't have the heart. I don't have the heart. My heart is not sustainable for 2 overtimes at this point in my career. So I was just ready to go, get home. I got a bottle of wine that's been ready to be opened, and I delayed it for 2 more quarters or 2 more overtimes. So I wasn't happy with myself in that regards.
And what did you make of the matchup of the Pistons putting their center on you down the stretch?
Well, we're a matchup problem for a lot of teams, and to have the ability to run our pick and roll, we make teams kind of adjust to sometimes that they don't want to do, and with our pick and roll, we attract a lot of switching and things of that nature because they want to try to keep a body on both of us, and we just try to exploit that.
Yeah. AD, what's your overall sort of confidence level right now behind the 3-point line? Obviously hit the shot in double overtime, but pump fake that up a couple other ones. Just kind of where are you at with that? I know that was something that you wanted to take a lot of them this year.
I'm confident the team get on me and the players get on me about shooting them, especially when I'm open. But, I just try to make the right play, thinking about pump fake, the guy closed out, especially if he's a big, I'm able to get around him and either get to the basket or when the defense collapses, I'm able to find shooters. But I do have to shoot the ones that I'm open on, and I think it's just me actually doing it. The one that I got in the corner in the overtime, I didn't hesitate, and when it came to me, just shot it. I think that's why it went in. So just got to be able to, when the ball gets swung to me, knowing that guys are going to close out short, just got to let it fly.
LeBron, you're joking, you're ready to go home tonight after 2 OT, but 46 minutes, specifically for you after a game like tonight, where you dig in deep into double overtime, is that just a more or a longer recovery process for you the day after? Is there just more involved in that to getting back to 100%? And how does it cut into your Super Bowl time tomorrow?
I'll still get treatment tomorrow, as I do on any day in between a game, knowing that we have a game on Monday. But it won't cut into my Super Bowl. I plan on getting up early, get some treatment, and then I'll probably go back to sleep. Get a couple hours of rest before the Super Bowl, so I'm locked in on not only the game but also the commercials. So, you gotta be locked into the commercials. Absolutely.
Got a special guest tomorrow and a commercial tomorrow.
So I got to be ready to that. I don't want to miss none. We as a family, we always rank like top 5 best Super Bowl commercials. So, I'm looking forward to that.
Couple more, Rachel Nichols.
AD, in all seriousness, how do you feel about being in the Super Bowl ad? Does that feel like something that's sort of a career ticker for you off the court?
Yeah,
Mom just not hearing about this.
It was a surprise, bro.
Okay.
It's a surprise. I want you to watch the game like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It was a surprise. Thank you for running it, Rachel.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, okay.
No, it's something that's super cool to me. Being a huge football, fan, and you like Bron said, you always watch the commercials. That's one of the reasons why you watch the Super Bowl. And for me to be a part of that legacy with all the great commercials, I'm not sure it was great to me. I'm not sure how the world's going to take it yet, but to be a part of that is something that don't come by too often, and I'm excited to be a part of that.
Yeah, if you got a commercial on Super Bowl Sunday, you're doing something right. I know how much those commercials cost. That's for sure.
Have you had a Super Bowl commercial before?
I have. I don't remember which one, but I remember I did have one before because I remember the budget. I remember how much it costs to get, and it depends too. Like
30 seconds.
First quarter, second quarter, third quarter, halftime, and fourth quarter. And if you get a 30 compared to a 60 or a 90, the number goes up from there. So. We're gonna see. I'm gonna clock his and see how much time he got tomorrow.
I think I'm a 15.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take one more question. Tony DeVille.
Hey, this question is for both of you guys. And I was just curious, what's it like for you guys tomorrow during the Super Bowl? Are you able to just kind of let loose and eat fun food like everybody else? Or because you guys have a game the next day, are you still on a strict diet? And also, I want to know who wins the game.
Well, I can speak for me. And I can speak for if I was 27, like him. No, I can't eat fun food like I would like to.
Like some wings or something.
Yeah, they probably baked.
Yeah.
I'll probably some baked wings.
Sure.
Yeah. It's not gonna be how I wish it was when I was 27, like AD. He can do what he want to do. I can't do it at 36, but I will have a hell of a time. There will be plenty of Lobos and wine passed around in my house, that's for sure. And I'm going to give you the straight up political answer. I just want to see a great game.
Hey, by the way, I tried that the Lobos mezcal. It's really good.
I appreciate that. Tone. You know what?
Really good.
All right, my man.